we weren't looking for anyone. And I think that was the sign, was the fact that I wasn't looking for anyone. I was really working on myself, and Mitch literally just fell out of the sky. And, you know, just this man with all the qualities that I dreamed of, that I manifested, you know, literally it felt like he dropped out of the sky.
Welcome to Separate Bathrooms. My name is Brahe-Daddo.
I'm Elle.
She's my wife.
Yes, she is. This is a podcast about relationships, about how people met, how they travel,
How they stay together.
how
How they broke up.
yeah, what they love about each other. We've got a fantastic couple.
We do. Mitch Tambo and his wife, Leah Firth. You might know Mitch. He's a singer, songwriter, dancer, a proud Gamilaroi man. He captured Australia's imagination on Australia's Got Talent 2019. He sung the most ripping version of John Farnham's You're the Voice.
Yes, he did.
And he's incredible.
Leah is a singer and a proud West Papuan and Melanesian woman. She's been a backup singer for Mitch, and she was born to music royalty, actually. Her father was a member of Black Brothers, which is a reggae group that was famed for its political messaging. So they are married in April. They've got a brand new baby.
Literally brand new.
Brand new baby. And
We might even get to meet their brand new baby Phoenix.
who knows?
We will see.
Let's bring him into the bathroom.
Welcome, Mitch and Leah, to the bathroom. How are you guys?
Yummy, yummy.
Great. Hello.
Okay. You have to explain to me what's you say yumma yumma?
Yeah, not yummy, yummy. I am hungry.
No,
but
there was
yama.
definitely an AH on that.
Yama is a greeting. It's one of our ways we can greet one another, say hello. In my language,
that.
Lee, how do you say hello in your language?
Tabea.
Tabea.
Tabea. Beautiful.
How do you say hello in your language, Al?
Hi.
Hi.
Wish I,
As long as it's not
wish I had-
g'day. No, you can say
I wish I
g'day.
had a bit more exotic than that, but yeah, that's it.
You guys have such an interesting story. Can you let us? How did you meet?
I mean, we live in an online world, but music was a factor. But I think it was more both the love and passion we've got for our respective cultures.
Yeah.
I think that's what really resonated at first. And we could both see that from the outset, from an online perspective and from, just catching up and having conversations and stuff, that there was a real connection there on a cultural, spiritual level first and foremost. And I think from there, we realised that we had a lot more in common and connected. But that was, would you say that?
I agree, yes.
So you came to each other's attention via the World Wide Web.
It's a pretty small arts community. So yeah, Leah was obviously, not obviously, you guys don't know. She was a lead singer of Melbourne-based the Black Sisters West Papuan band, which she fronted and basically was a founding member. So they were doing lots of stuff, and I think I was doing some things, and
We had a lot of mutual friends, but never actually
Okay.
crossed paths.
never actually crossed paths. And then
I would have remembered.
Yeah. And then it just happened. But it was one of them weird things. Once it happened, we'd never, really crossed paths. But once it happened, it was one of them weird things. I was rolling out of an audition. Leah was walking into a job interview. We
At
just
the
started
same place,
randomly crossing paths everywhere. So, yeah, it was one of them things.
You know you're on the right track when you just randomly keep on bumping into each other, right? It's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, there's
Something's
signs.
Well, and
something
Leah wouldn't
deeper
wrap up
here.
the conversations. I'm like, we've been talking
Oh.
for 15 hours and she'd just keep it going.
Yeah.
And you're still
Oh, no,
here,
wait,
and
was
I'm
that
still
me?
here.
So and you got married in April this
Yes.
year. So how long was the courtship before when you met? You finally got together, and then you got married in April. And what was the wedding like?
So we met in 2018, is that right?
Yeah, early
the start.
2018.
Yeah, Feb,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
February 2018. We didn't kiss or anything for 12 months. We just legit got to know each other on a real level, I suppose. Not that other
Yeah.
people don't, but we just spent a lot of time just talking and really getting to know each other. And then things just progressed from there.
And Leah, there's a photograph of you with your three daughters. Obviously, you've got your fourth now, but your three daughters
Yes.
at your wedding. That is so stunning. It's so full of joy.
Thank
You're all in
you.
that gorgeous, sparkly outfits. And
Thank you so much.
Aw.
Oh my God, my kids are my world. So it was I was just as excited for them, you know, the whole getting their hair done and the makeup and the beautiful dresses. Just the whole process was just so much fun. And it was just beautiful to see the girls so excited. They love Mitch as well. So it was just an amazing, beautiful experience for the family, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
And to be able to share it with them.
How have they been with the birth of now your fourth daughter, Phoenix?
Well, we're planning number 5 now. That's how they are.
Are we?
Oh, they want more.
Mitch wants a boy.
Yeah.
Still waiting for the boy. No,
They must be excited with Phoenix. They must be excited with the baby.
Oh, they love her so much. They absolutely adore her.
Yeah, it's next level. It's really beautiful.
But, I mean, you know, we did kind of prepare ourselves for all different scenarios, you know, for when she did finally enter into our family. But it's just been, we couldn't ask for a better
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been beautiful. The girls are just pumped, and it's great. You know, like, it's funny because, you know, as I'm sure you know, like, babies are so smart, and she's realised that if someone puts her down, someone picks her up. So the minute that she knows she's been put down for like a minute, it's like, hey, what are you doing? And someone will come pick her up. So she's smart, and she knows that. Oh, one sister's arm's tired, another will pick me up, or here comes dad or mum. It's pretty funny.
The bassinet's just there for decoration.
Literally.
Exactly. Who needs a cot?
I said to Lele the other day, honestly, we need to just get rid of this cot. Let's sell it and just get a super king bed.
Right.
Super king.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we need, because our 5-year-old still makes her way into the bed with us. So...
Mitch, you mentioned that you've been preparing mentally for many years to become a dad. What do you mean by that?
I grew up with a single mum. You know, I see my dad and whatnot in school holidays and all the rest of it. It's all good. But I think, and then I lost him to cancer at 22. So although like my pop was sort of my everyday, I guess, male role model, I think it paints a different perspective for you in your journey. And I think I just kind of, it imprinted on me in a different way, thinking about becoming a father one day and maybe how I wanted to be in that, you know. So I think because I spent a lot of time just reflecting and trying to work through some of my own things, just, I guess, for this moment. And it's funny because the moment comes and you're still the same old Mitch, but you just go through this constant thought process, you know.
Mm.
You met Leah, as you said, she had 3 kids when you met her. Was that a consideration for you? Were you, wow, was that a surprise, or how'd that go?
It wasn't next to my long walks along the beach. It was, you know, because I guess at the time you're a single dude just living your life, you know. It's like, it's not a thing of I don't want this. It's just, I think in my brain it just wasn't on my agenda that I would meet someone that had 3 girls, you know.
Yeah.
So when it happened though, like, we had like lots of long conversations about that and about me and about my, I guess, not worries, but like how I would be in that if I, you know, I guess a bit of self-doubt. But I think it comes to a point where, well, for me, first and foremost, it was like, yes, the kids are great, but more importantly, it's Leah that I'm in love with, and she's the one that's amazing. And do I really want to just forsake something so beautiful, you know, when just because there's 3 beautiful kids involved, you know what I mean? And it might entail some extra, you know, capacity or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think I was just more concerned because I realised the commitment. And I didn't want it to be like, okay, let's just do it. And halfway through, oh, you know what? I think I'm just going to go and gig and just do me. You know, I didn't want to be that guy. So I think I just put more pressure on me in the situation because I wanted to make the decision and then be able to just be committed within that decision and, you know, let us come into it together and build our life, I suppose, if that makes sense.
That's beautiful. I mean, that is, you've gone from, you know, as you said, a single man to father of 4, married, or in a year. That's a big leap and a wonderful leap, I'm sure.
It's a big leap, but no, it's been great. It's been a beautiful transition. And like, I think if you're open to growth and open to reflection, you know, it becomes even more of a journey because you look back and like, wow. Even now, it's funny because, you know, Leah would get a little bit wild at me because I'd be like, oh, you know, I just don't know how I'm going to go with baby and the sleep thing. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be getting up and all that. And like, you get into it and it's just different because it's, it's your beautiful, precious child, and you start gaining capacity in areas you thought you never would, and where you might feel you'd become like, not very patient or whatever, all of a sudden you've got all this patience and you're not really affected by all that. It becomes the small stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Going back to when we first met, I think if I didn't feel that Mitch had the capacity, there's no way I would put either of us in that situation, especially my children,
Yeah.
When we first met, I told him there's, you're looking at me, but there's 4 of us.
Yeah, right.
Good call.
That's what really made me go, I love Leah, but, there's a real reality here, and you've just been living your life, you jump on a plane when you want, do whatever you want, and if, you want to do this, that's not the reality anymore. There's you and Leah, but there's also 3 others that also come before everything else too, and are you ready to make that commitment? But I think, like, I can go on all day, but the reality is too, is Leah's like such a super patient, unconditional loving person too, which has made the road for me probably, like gold plated to walk on in terms of the transition, because you have your bad days, no one's perfect.
Sure.
But Leah's just always steadfast and very patient and, unconditional with it all.
Oh, thank you.
Leah, you got the rock star husband there. Was there
Yes.
a moment where the light switch went off to go, yep, he's got the green light, he's going to be my man, and I trust him with my 3 kids, my most precious cargo? Was there any moment or a time that you can share where became clear to you?
Oh, it was pretty early. And this is crazy, I know, but because there's a couple of years age gap between us as well. But I think just the fact that he is such a respectful guy, full of integrity, He was always so honest with me, and I felt like I could trust him pretty early in the piece. So, and just how he was able to listen to me, and just, it's, for me, it's the respect that he had for me and how he really valued me as a woman, and a woman that still had big dreams. Even though we met when I was a single mum, and, I was in a bit of a rough patch where I was thinking, is this what my life is going to be like? Because I don't want to go out there and just date anyone. I used the time as also, like, we were kind of in that same position, just at different stages of our life where we weren't looking for anyone. And I think that was the sign, was the fact that I wasn't looking for anyone. I was really working on myself. I just wanted to be the best mother I could possibly be. But I was so tired, working like 3 jobs. And Mitch literally just fell out of the sky. And, just this man that with all the qualities that I dreamed of, that I manifested, literally it felt like he dropped out of the sky. And he was, from there, I was just able to just be myself and not put on any kind of, like, I didn't have a game face on or anything like that. I was like, if it works, well, this is me. Take us or leave us,
Yeah.
Mitch, clearly you, as Leah said, you've got a lot of integrity. You're someone who's clearly very conscious and willing to look at themselves and work on themselves. Where did that get instilled from?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably from my mum and Nan and Pop. Like, that's the little things you remember. Like, Pop would always be, if you shake someone's hand, you give them your word, you follow through, like just them old school values and things like that. But I think with regards to me and Leah, it was just being really conscious that there's 3 little lives at stake, and we're adults, and it's all right to just, have fun or whatever you want to do in your date. But when there's 3 little lives involved, it's another ball game. You don't need to break 3 little hearts. And I think for me, it was just, I was honest with Leah with like my imperfections. I'd be like, I'm very driven. I want a career. At times, maybe that can come across as selfish, but this is who I am, and I don't want this to impact blah, 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 blah. Like, we had really intense, honest conversations that led us down a path of something really fruitful in the end, But I think that was the beauty of just hanging out for, like 12 months, is you know, when there's silent air, the only thing you can do is take a sip of your cup of peppermint tea or open up the conversation further, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You put an Instagram post up, Mitch, that I really enjoyed. You were talking about the importance of risk. Can you share more about those feelings?
The start of that year, I had realised that I have anxiety and that I had allowed anxiety to hold me captive for so many amazing moments in my life where I was excelling, but I could have taken it to the next level, whether it been sport or whatever it may have been. And when it dawned on me, I realised that what anxiety really births is fear. And in me anyway, in my personal experience. So funnily enough, that year, I just made the decision that I would remain open to opportunities and embrace opportunity rather than look at the reasons why not to. And it's funny because I started off quite small. I was playing in a Koori basketball knockout, and I made this pact with myself that every time I went to the free throw line, I would cut fear off my life. So every time I went to the free throw line, I'd be like, I rebuke fear and anxiety off my life. You have no place in my life. Yeah. It's over. And I would shoot these free throws, and I was hitting them, you know. It was like
during the game,
doing something for me. It was like relaxing me. And then not long after that, opportunities for AGT come and all the rest of it. And I just kept bringing myself back to that. And also back to, you know what, man, like if you get on stage and you hit a bung note and this all goes south, it's literally just a teardrop in the ocean. Like, it's not a big deal. You know, what matters is just getting out there and having a crack. And for me, one day being able to, I guess, say to Phoenix now, you know what, like Dad went out there and had a go. Like, there's no reason for you to just not go and chase your dreams. Just get it.
And look, I'm totally with you. When I was a kid, I had a stutter and that was a lot around caused from anxiety, I'm sure. You mentioned AGT before, Australia's Got Talent. You sung The Voice, which has become a bit of an iconic moment, and also it seemed like quite a big launch pad for you. Did you feel like that was a risk to do that? A big song.
At that moment, I didn't care anymore. Like, it sounds funny.
Yep.
I got through the golden buzzer, and I was through the next round, and literally the next day, my manager rang me and we're like, what should we do next, you know? Let's get on the horse here and get moving. And we chucked that on the table. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm keen. Let's get it. Let's do this. If you had asked me, 3 months prior, I would have just said, hey, you know what you can do with that? There's no chance I'm doing this. I wouldn't have even entertained the thought to even be a part of bringing it to the table. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd put myself in a position where I'd committed to myself, and that was to embrace opportunity to grow. And I was like, let's do it. And it was in that moment that I was like, well, how am I going to do it? Because I've never actually sung like this in my life. I better get some singing lessons then and do it. And that's where it happened. I'd only ever sung in a traditional style of singing. I'd never actually sung in Ngiani, actual singing. I'd never done it.
Yeah.
So it was a season of growth for me in a lot of ways.
It was so when we left, we've lived in America for 25 years. When we left Australia, you know, it was John Farnham's version of it was huge.
Yeah.
And then I remember they actually showed it in America for some reason. We got to see it in America.
Yeah.
And I remember we all stood around the TV watching you sing your version of it, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
It was chilling.
It was chilling. We all just looked at each other and went, what's happening in Australia that, you know, this has become the thing. This is so exciting to see, you know, the Indigenous language get a front and center moment like that. And it's just been, and you've gone from strength to strength from there. And I'm just watching the baby come on screen and I'm going to have a conniption.
She was looking at me while she was saying all that. And I'm looking at the screen going, there's a baby in there. She hasn't seen the baby. She's gonna trip her up.
Oh my God. Okay. If I can reach through the screen and hold the baby, I would.
It's so funny because Lee and I have had so many talks before Phoenix come about, you know, we don't want her to be too much on social media. First podcast. Oh, well, welcome, Phoenix.
Well, it is separate bathrooms, mate. It's okay. It's a relationship show, so why not? Let's have You're the first baby that's been on separate in the bathroom.
Really?
Baby in the bathroom. That's a song.
Oh,
Let's write that.
Gosh. Oh, she's so divine.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Oh,
I had
just
to
beautiful.
pop out before.
Mama's work. You got to do what you got to do.
And
Yeah.
change my T-shirt.
Oh yeah, you did too. Wardrobe change.
Oh yeah, this is your clothing line, right? You guys, is that what Leah's got on? One of the T-shirts for your
Yes.
clothing line?
Yeah, so Wallenbar is
Okay.
Wallenbar is one of my songs, and it also means strong. So we've got a Wallenbar program geared towards kids in and out of foster care on the brink of juvenile justice, just schools, and it's all about Aboriginal education and inclusiveness. And so yeah, we created the clothing line to coincide with that, just to bring awareness to what we do outside of music, because we've got collectively a massive heart for all kids, and definitely kids of diverse backgrounds and stories, and
Yeah.
we're just trying to do our best to impart where we can, and take a positive message wherever we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Leah, your dad was a very prominent musician and also a really important activist as well.
Yes.
What did he teach you?
Oh, that's a really good question. So much. Dad was my rock. Like I am the woman I am today because of my dad. I guess the most important thing he's taught me is family, how important family is, and 100% my culture, and how important it is for me to keep that close to my heart. And it's really hard to explain how important culture is to me, because I wasn't able to practice our culture back home because I was living in exile my entire life. And so did my dad. Like we moved here as refugees when I was 8 years old, and culture was all we had,
Yeah.
English was my third language or something like that. And so yeah, he really taught me how important it is to remember who you are and remember where you come from, because no one can take that away from you. It's in your DNA. I could be, it doesn't matter where I am in this world. Culture is what makes me me, and culture is what makes me strong, what keeps me connected, and is what protects me.
Yeah.
So that would be the most important thing that he taught me.
It's an incredible story, you two, and you're both involved in mental health and with cultural healing. What's the biggest need right now that Indigenous culture has in regards to mental health?
That we need or have to offer.
Well, both actually.
I think being able to go back to our respective countries and connect is massive for our mental health. Unfortunately, not all of us have that opportunity because of the harsh realities of the stolen generation and things like that. And also, there's some stat out now, I think in New South Wales, I won't quote it because I don't know it properly, but it's about how many sacred sites are desecrated a week with, all the mining and things happening.
Yeah.
And the heartache that comes from that it's horrific. And, like for anyone listening out there, like you might see Aboriginal people protesting against mines and you see all this going on, but it's hard to really digest it unless you go and actually have a relationship with a black fella, and actually feel that hurt and pain, because it's not just a rock. It's the way that I describe it. It's like someone just deciding, let's put a mine right there in the Vatican.
Yeah.
And we're just going to blow it up. Let's just blow it up. Yeah, it's the heart of the whole Catholic faith, but it'll be right. You'll be right. You've got churches over there, and it's all good, But we're talking about cultural sites that are the equivalent of the Vatican, but have been here for over 60,000 years.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a culture that's already been dismantled in so many different ways, and we're all trying to put pieces back together and heal our spirit. And we need as many sacred sites and places that we can go and connect to, not just for me, but for Phoenix.
Yeah.
So that one day she can go back and be like, wow, this is a birthing cave, It brings this thing that's so spiritual that it's just a connection. It's just this connection on such a deep level. You go there and you go to these places and it's just feeling, it's like, whoa, it's just this feeling of, wow, my people walked here and that's in me. And I'm a part of that. And it's not even just speaking it out. Like it's a feeling like, wow, I'm actually tied to this. I can feel it. It's crazy. So I think being able to access country is massive for our mental health, and not just access it, but be able to go there and be able to work the land. And what I mean, like, do control burning, look after, take control of the rivers, the waterways, start healing those waterways, you know, because for us, it's like healing comes in country, you know, it comes in being able to go back and just lay in the river. But how can I lay in a river that's just full of toxins and chemicals that have just run off from a farm? I can't do that because that river's sick and I'm going to be sick from that. But if that river's flourishing, well, then I'm going to come out of that feeling renewed. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to really depict it, but that's massive. And I think what we have to offer other people and others in terms of mental health is peace. Because you come out into our country and you sit under that open night sky and you look up into them stars around that beautiful warm fire, and you sit there from sunset when those birds are going off and you hear them sing, and you feel that beautiful pastel sunset setting before you, and then you sit under those stars and hear us talk about our stories. All that's in that, other than peace, is unconditional love. And that is universal. That's for you. It's for Cam. It's for all of us to experience, you know. Our culture's not selfish. It's a culture that you come in respectful with an open heart, and you'll walk away with an extended family, you know. And I think in terms of mental health and in terms of the forever changing society that we're in, that where, you know, multimedia and all these things are constantly shoved down our throat, what we have to offer people right now is a disconnection from that and a complete connection to something else that's just full of unconditional love.
Well said.
Really, really well said. And thank you. We do a thing which you kind of do a similar thing in Tambo Time, which is your Facebook TV show, right? Called Diving Deep.
Yes.
We have a thing called the 2-minute shower that you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're into water conservation. We want to take care of your river and not put too many toxins in there, so we keep our answers short. We would like answers from both of you on these questions. The first question is, what is your best quality?
Just in the home, I would just say cleaning.
Cleaning.
That's a new one. We haven't heard that.
Yep. Leah, what's your best quality?
It's very diversified in the house.
I would just say just being present.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Is there one?
Damn it, you beat me.
No, it's not a competition, mate.
Answer.
There's no right or wrong in this.
But I agree with yours 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Best cleaner.
Trust me, every woman listening to this just went, oh. Yes, cleaning.
No, but get this, Ali. I don't have to ask him to clean.
Mate, you're on a good thing there, Leah.
And Leah, if Alison was being honest, she would say, I don't have to ask my husband to clean either.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to say to you right now.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. Is there one moment in your life you would like to revisit? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, bad, good, whatever, but just a moment that you'd love to have again.
Our wedding.
Oh, beautiful. I would say
I'm still like, I think about our wedding and I still get butterflies thinking about how just perfect it was.
I love that. I would say, just off the top of my head, I would love to go for a surf with my dad again. I think I got good memories being a young fella, like paddling out with the waves and like hearing his laugh and just all the rest of it. Yeah. So I'll revisit that.
Amazing. Who's the most fascinating person you've met?
I've met a lot of, I feel like I've met a lot of fascinating people. But I think to me, those fascinating people that I met had in common was just people who have made mad sacrifices for things that are bigger than themselves.
Right. Yeah, great.
You know, like activists and people who are really protecting like their culture or their sovereignty, you know, things like that are much bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a I don't know, maybe it's the word fascinating that's putting me off, but I've met so many, like Leah, so many incredible people. I mean, when you even like Leah said, like I've had the privilege to speak with Uncle Archie Roach a few times, and you know, and hear his story and watch him over the years. But there's something like that's like almost like spiritually ordained when you talk to him, and when you hear him sing, like there's something that when you meet him, you just get it. You're like, wow, like the ancestors really put a mantle on your life. it's like you just can't help but picture like an old song man before colonization. Like there's that spirit in there. It's crazy. But yeah, I've met so many incredible people. I mean, even when Leah and I connected, like it was epic because of her deep connection to her culture. And I was like, wow, finally, like she's arrived, you know?
Yeah.
This woman I'd always sort of wanted, you know, or put out there. It was just someone that was so entrenched in their culture and so connected to it, not just like in love with it, but on that spiritual connective level. Like, yeah, it blew me away. So yeah.
Great. What's the bravest thing you've ever done?
This is deep.
Oh no. The shower's turning into 5 minutes.
I would say for me, myself, the bravest thing I've ever done is take control of my own life.
Yeah.
And make decisions for me, not based on what's best for other people.
Yep.
The bravest thing for me is putting myself first.
Yep.
Wow.
That's my 100% honest answer.
Yeah, I love it.
As a woman, I hear that, and a mum, I hear that really loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it one bit.
Yeah.
I'm a better everything because of it. Wife, mother, friend.
I would just say for me, been many of things, but I would just say leaving the bush. It's probably like the biggest thing I've done with like the biggest chain reaction for my life.
Right.
And it was big, I think, because it was just so easy, the life I had. I had a great job. I was studying, you know, playing sports, still doing good things, good community. But I just had this thing inside of me that just felt like there was more out there that I wanted to explore. But to actually step and actually go and purchase those tickets, to actually pack that bag and decide to just sleep on a little foam mattress for a minute in a very empty room from what I'd just come from was pretty big. But I look back now and I wouldn't be any of this if I didn't make that move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met Leah. I wouldn't have decided to do music. I wouldn't have done anything, like literally. I'd be a completely different human being, 100%.
Yeah.
So it was just that one decision that led to a million different outcomes that wouldn't have happened.
Super answers, both of you. It's awesome. Hey, what's your go-to song to uplift your spirit?
Oh, talk to us, Leah.
Oh my God, really?
Yep.
I can't lie. That's my problem.
Yeah, well done.
It's Guns N' Roses,
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa,
Which one?
Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
Oh, it is like my ultimate. Just put that on and I'll do anything. Not anything, but you know,
What would my genre be, Leah?
country.
Country.
100%.
I love country.
Mitch is the
What's your song,
country
Mitch?
music.
There's this artist, Luke Combs, who I'm into a fair bit. He's got some great, like, anthemic country tunes.
Finish this sentence. What the world needs now is...
You go.
Unity.
Yep.
Can I agree with Mitch?
Yep.
How dare you?
We'll
allow-
That's unity right there. You're unifying the
Solidarity, I love
answer.
There you go.
Yes.
We'll allow
I was
it.
getting competitive and you're trying to unify with me. Hey, I blew it. I'm the problem. I need to change.
All right, guys. Now you can't piggyback on each other on this one. This is your partner. Your partner in one word.
Unconditional.
Oh, that's not nice. I'm like, I can't.
I know you got mama
word.
brain as well, which I'm feeling for you, Leah.
Well, he's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I can't
Yeah.
Well, why don't we put he's the best thing that's ever happened to me in one word? We'll just
thing that's
squash it
ever
all.
happened to
We'll
me.
hyphenate
So I
it.
can't,
I love it. We'll
Yes.
allow that.
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cam's got all the answers.
No, I don't, mate. That's the problem. I really don't.
Mitch,
I have some answers.
Mitch, Leah, and Baby Phoenix, we have loved this chat with you. It's been such an honour to hear your answers, your wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us in the bathroom.
Thank you so much for having us. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and it was a lot of fun.
That was awesome. Thanks for having
Oh,
us.
good.
Thank you.
That's the first time we've ever had three people
Three people in the
guests in the bathroom. How do you feel? Are you okay? Your mama glands?
My uterus is all right now. As much as I would, if they had been actually in the studio with us, that would have been really hard. I
Yeah,
would have
right.
been like give me the baby now.
Start lactating. I can't even say it.
No, I doubt that. Too old for that. Wow. I thought Stan Grant is someone who I admire and speaks so beautifully about his culture. Mitch is right up there with him. That was so beautiful to hear him speak about Australia and his culture, and same with Leah as well. What a spiritually grounded, wonderful couple to listen to.
Yeah, and I'm in anticipation of where they're going to go.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, I just see Mitch there. There he is, in his homemade studio in his garage with all the lights set up behind him, look like a pro studio, and it's just like, this guy, he's just making it happen. He's creating it, he's taking risks, he's being brave. I mean, that story about what he felt was the bravest thing he's ever done. I mean, this is what it takes, and the ripple effect with that is incredible. And the two of them together, marrying the two cultures, and
how much they give back. That's what I love. They give so much back.
Yeah, I just think it's better to listen than to talk, and if you're feeling crappy, give something. And there they are and doing their thing. You're a good giver.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go, and you can give me a cup of tea at the end of this.
Wow. I don't even know.
Thanks for being with us.
I don't know where to go with that one.
You don't have to go anywhere. I'll make you a cup of tea. It'll be my pleasure. Till next time on Separate Bathrooms, take good care.
Thanks for listening, everyone.